Good morning, friends. In the last lecture, we have considered the C4 mechanism, that is the carbon concentrating mechanism found in many of the plants. Okay, that means that how the extra CO2 can be provided to the rubisco so that the maximum CO2 can be fixed. So that was the point. Now, what is the necessity? In case of some of the plants which actually live in the dry environment, now like in desert area, and in that area if there is the stomatal opening continuously like the ordinary mechanism during the daytime, due to the transpiration pull, the plant would die off due to water loss, heavy water loss. So nature has provided a different kind of adaptation, that stomatal opening would happen in the night, and at that time the H2O vapor and the CO2 would be exchanged. So we are going to consider that CAM plants, CAM mechanism. It was firstly reported in the Crassulaceae family members, the members are the sedum, crassula, etc. Now it is to concentrate the CO2. So this mechanism is Crassulian acid metabolism, because the mechanism has been firstly reported in Crassulaceae, but not solely in the Crassulaceae. Later on, it also has been reported in the Euphorbiaceae. Many of the members of the cacti and the euphorbias. It is also found reported in the pineapple, vanilla, agave, etc. etc. This mechanism basically improve the water use efficiency. So they basically provided the plant the competitive advantage to live properly in the dry environment. Such kind of competitive edge would be provided if the stomatal opening happens during the night and remain closed during the day. So that is a typical feature of the CAM mechanism or the CAM plants. Now what happens in that mechanism we can consider here. Why this is called the Crassulian acid metabolism? Because at some time of the research it was considered the acidification of the leaf, some sort of acid has been synthesized. What kind of acid? Oxaloacetic acid has been synthesized. It has been considered because CO2 has been incorporated for the carboxylation of PEP for the synthesis of oxaloacetic acid, and then finally this OA is reduced into the malate. So this malic acid has been stored within the vacuoles. That means acid is getting accumulated within the vacuoles. That's why scientists term that this is the acidification of the leaf, and such kind of acid synthesis were reported in the Crassulaceae family member. That's why it was called Crassulian acid metabolism. So this happens during the night. Now at the onset of the day, when the day starts, the stomata become closed, preventing the loss of water and further uptake of the CO2. Whatever malic acid or the malate has been synthesized, that is to be consumed now. That means the acidification is reversed. That means deacidification is happening. In this deacidification, decarboxylation is also happened, and that decarboxylation is basically caused by NADP malic enzyme, that is NADP-ME type C4 plants. In that C4 plants also decarboxylation is facilitated by NADP-ME. So since the stomata remains closed, the internally released CO2 cannot escape from the leaf, we know very well, and this happens during the daytime. and it is being fixed through the Kelvin cycle. Now we can see in this diagram what happens. Dark, that means in night stomata open, and during the light stomata closed. When the stomata open, that means during the night CO2 and H2O can be exchanged, and that CO2 is fixed in terms of bicarbonate. Basically that is done by the carbonic anhydrase enzyme, that is a membrane bound. This bicarbonate along with the phosphoenol pyruvate is converted into oxaloacetate OAA by means of the PAP carboxylase. This is the first enzyme for the carboxylation reaction, and then this oxaloacetate is converted into malate, which is to be stored in vacuum, and here NADH energy is utilized. So what happens? The triose phosphate of the chloroplast is to provide the phosphoenol pyruvate, and this phosphoenol pyruvate along with the captured CO2 is ultimately converted into malate, and that is to be stored in vacuum. This all happens during the night. Now what happens during the day? First important thing is stomata are getting closed. When the stomata closed, the CO2 that has been captured earlier in the form of malic acid, due to the NADP-ME enzyme, that malate is converted into pyruvate and CO2. This is called decarboxylation. This CO2 cannot escape the leaf because the stomata is closed. Why the stomata has been closed? Because we are talking about desert plants, and these desert plants, if have the open stomata during the daytime, they would die off due to heavy water loss through transpiration. So it is an adaptive mechanism. So it is all about the game of stomata. So what happens during the light? Whatever malate or the malic acid that has been stored in the vacuole, that is decarboxylated by the NADP malic enzyme, and pyruvate is released. That pyruvate is consumed for the starch synthesis in the chloroplast, and also there would be the release of CO2, and that CO2 is to be fixed through Kelvin cycle, that is the normal C3 cycle. So this is the CAM plant mechanism. Now how this CAM plant mechanism is found to differ from the C4 plant mechanism? Many are the similarities. For example, one similarity we have talked about the decarboxylating enzyme, and that decarboxylating enzyme is the same, NADP-ME. The another kind of situation is here also, like the C4 plants, here also there would be the separation of decarboxylation and the carboxylation sites. In case of the C4 plant, the carboxylation, that is the formation of C4 acid, happens in the mesophyll, and decarboxylation happened in the bundle sheath cell, where also refixation of the CO2 happens. So there are spatial separation of carboxylation and decarboxylation process. Carboxylation occurs in the mesophyll and decarboxylation occurs in bundle sheath cell. In case of CAM plants, one step ahead of the C4 plants, that there would be the temporal along with the spatial separation of decarboxylation, carboxylation and recarboxylation. For example, in case of a CAM plant, we can see what happens. Here, firstly, the primary carboxylation site is the cytosol. Okay, and then the decarboxylation site is basically not the cytosol, because the malic acid has been taken and that is converted into the pyruvate. So spatial separation is there. And also we know that this phenomena, that is the carboxylation phenomena, happen during night, while the decarboxylation and the recarboxylation happens in chloroplast during daytime. So the CM plants formation, in CM plants, formation of C4 acid, that is the carboxylation, is both temporally and spatially separated from carboxylation and the refixation of CO2. At night, CO2 is captured by the PEP carboxylase in the cytosol and the malate is stored in the vacuole. During the day, the stored malate is transported to the chloroplast and decarboxylated by the enzyme and again refixed into Calvin cycle. So temporal separation as well as spatial separation. That means the decarboxylation and carboxylation sites are temporally, that means in time and space they are different. Now we are going to consider the regulation of the CM plants. The most important enzyme is the primary carboxylation enzyme, that is the PEP carboxylase. This PEP carboxylase is basically inhibited by the high concentration of malate. So what we need to consider? We need to consider the phosphorylation. If that is phosphorylated, it becomes active, and that phosphorylated form is insensitive to malate. Now these kinases which phosphorylate and make PEP carboxylase activated, that happens during the night time. During the daytime, phosphatases remove this phosphate and again the PEP carboxylase remains inactive. That means the availability of active PEP carboxylase happens during night time only, and this phosphorylation occurs at a specific serine residue of the enzyme. So ultimately it is the phosphorylation dephosphorylation mechanism that regulates that the primary carboxylating enzyme of the CEM mechanism is the phosphorylation and dephosphorylation. Now what is the significance? The CEM plants are highly significant in two ways. In the first way, that we are consistently trying to decipher that CEM plants are basically provided with the mechanism that is for the reduction of water loss by transpiration. So it was achieved by the reverse stomatal opening from the normal. That means the stomata remains open during the night but not during the daytime. So the CEM mechanism basically enable plant to improve water use and give the competitive advantage for the dry environments. In an estimate, typically it has been considered that the CM plant losses around 50 to 100 gram of water for every gram of CO2 gained, in comparison to the C4 plant, where approximately 300 gram water is lost and around 500 water is lost for the C3 plant. So it is around 4 to 5 times water use efficiency achieved in the C4 plants while comparing with the around 4 to 5 times of water use efficiency is used by CEM plants in comparison to C4 and the C3 plants. So this is one way how water loss can be reduced. In the another important way, when the CO2 is concentrated and provided to the rubisco, what happens? The photorespiration or the photorespiratory oxygen of RUBP is suppressed. So the photorespiration phenomena is almost rare in case of the C4 as well as the in the CM plants. So that is the beauty of the CCM, carbon concentrating mechanism. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay blessed.